factories will wake up one day and there's not going to be any bees left, and people are going to be asking why.
The farmer is part of the whole system that's based on production. When they ask me about something, I say, well, I got to ask the bees. And they say, well, what are you, Dr. Doolittle? Do you talk to the bees? And I said, yeah. It's almost therapy for us to talk back and forth, because it's difficult. Your bees are dying, and you know, a lot of people think it's your own fault. It's your fault.
They look like they have CCD. And so we have some sort of shot-in-the-dark ideas. We're not, like, I mean, it's not like we hold much hope for him at this point.
I don't know, 20 plus years. We're both East Coast beekeepers. We go to some of the same farms. And when his bees just really fell apart, I started calling him on a daily basis. I joke about this just to keep him off a suicide watch, but in some ways that's not a joke.
Scientists say, well, you know, the science doesn't say this. Well, their science may not say this, but I'm living in a world of real reality. These bees are reality.
I'm just opening the vaginal chamber of the queen. So I grab the forceps, and if I pull the sting over, it's a little flap of tissue that you have to get around. Back that out and release the queen. She looks a little rough. But
back to chemistry class, you know, you took a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it was fine. You dumped it out, and everything was fine. You poured it together, and it's still okay. Then you got the third thing, you dumped it in, and started to sizzle a little bit. You found something else where you dumped it in, and all of a sudden, boom, you blowed the whole place up.
Pretty devastating. It's very painful. The solution is now beyond me.
2 billion bees gone.
What, this is a photo opportunity? Is this the Kodak photo spot?
I get it.
In the back of your mind, you can imagine, you think you have an idea what this looks like.
You can't imagine this. It's like the pictures of the Holocaust. This is a bee Holocaust right here.
To be much more than a bad beekeeping issue, French beekeepers took to the streets. Thousands gathered to stage protests in cities across France, at the Eiffel Tower, and in front of Bayer Crop Science, the company that manufactures the systemic pesticides in question.
Je pense qu'au début, on a énormément surpris la société.
What we find is the pesticides they start the process, and then the viruses are a problem. Yes. Okay, yes. But
for me, the problem is in first pesticides, and the effect of pesticides.
Viruses, Nosema thorana, varroa is a problem.
When you are intoxicated,
Yes.
The interesting thing about Europe is they're living in a different idea. They're in the precautionary. You know, we're gonna take precautions. We think it's a problem. We're gonna take it off the market until we figure this thing out. Here in the United States, we're just the opposite. We just put it out there and we see what happens. You know,
agencies like the EPA in place to moderate the avarice of corporations, and they have not done it. Instead, they've been corrupted. I cynically say that they've become a bunch of prostitutes.
I don't know. They really should take protection out of their label, because they ain't protecting nothing. I mean, they're just, you know, they're not protecting anything. They're just the environmental whatever, you know.
I was surprised when I started looking at how little I knew and how little there was to look at. So I had heard everything from the rapture to it being a Russian conspiracy, and the Russians have put genes in the bees and now are beaming satellite beams down to kill the bees. And as a scientist, I can't say that it's not true, but we don't think that's the cause. Although we don't recommend beekeepers give cell phones to their bees, because they're social insects and will likely bankrupt you because they'll call so much. and they'll only pollinate blackberries.
Was left over from World War II and made chemicals out of them for agriculture to feed ourselves. I mean, we tried to kill people with this stuff, and now we're trying to kill the bugs with it, and then we're trying to eat the stuff. So, you know, does it make a lot of sense? I don't think so, but, you know, I'm just a dumb beekeeper.